Welcome back to Nanodosing, bite-size macrodosing, mini-dosing. What was the other name that we came up with it?
Micro, nano.
Snackrodosing. We're going to keep this one short-ish.
Mini-dosing.
Mini-dosing. Today's episode is brought to you by our great friends over at eBay. eBay is changing the game once again for buying and selling sneakers online. From rare dead stock to the latest release, or even carefully loved pre-owned kicks. Arian, what's your favorite pair of sneakers that you own? Chucks, a classic. What about you, Big T?
I have a pair of Jordan 1
Velcro
lows that I actually got on
champion.
eBay that I like a lot, and then I have a pair of I think it's the Jordan 5. I honestly forget which one it was. It's the one that came out during The Last Dance.
Okay, mine are my pennies. I've got my penny 2s. I've got some Sean Kemp kamikazes. You can find sneakers like those and more on eBay, and the best part is they come with an authenticity guarantee, so you can rest easy knowing that everything, including the box they came in, is 100% legit. With millions of sellers across the globe, the drops never stop. eBay sneakers, the authenticity is guaranteed. Mad Dog, what's your favorite pair of sneakers that you own?
I have a cool pair of Air Max 90s that I like a lot.
Love it. What are they? I'm rocking the Air Max 270s right now. They give me an extra half inch of height, so I appreciate
mine
those.
give me like another half inch. It's really nice.
Sweet. Billy, what's your favorite pair of sneakers?
The best pair
Your
of sneakers
fingers,
I ever
your toe
got.
shoes, your little weird tactical
No, I got some
Aquaman
I got
socks.
some bread AF1s.
Okay, some bread AF1s.
Yeah, they're sick.
Sounds sick. Check them out on eBay. You can probably find them there. eBay sneakers, authenticity guaranteed. Welcome back to Nanodosing. It is Thursday. It is July 21st. What the fuck happened to summer?
It's crazy.
It's insane that summer's going by this fast. I don't like it.
Except it's hot as balls and I'm over it.
And it's 49 days until the NFL starts. So that's
Yeah.
what's really important in my head. So I'm switching into football mode very shortly here.
We started talking a little football yesterday, just with the Madden ratings and stuff, and I just realized how much I miss talking about football.
Yeah. It is Madden rating season.
Yeah.
Getting upset about Madden ratings. Arian, you were not happy with your Madden ratings, right?
I don't remember me caring. What do you say?
I thought that at one
Maybe
point
I
we
did.
read some of your Madden ratings back to you, and I think your catch was like a
It was just the
61.
hand. Yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But they have guys that they pour over all the film. They watch every single play, and they mark you plus or minus, and they have a pretty much as close to a perfect formula as you can get.
I'm sure they do.
The thing is with
Probably
Madden,
more intense than the draft process.
the thing is with Madden is it's a totally different game than football.
That's true.
Like, the way
People
people
forget that. It's on a
competitively-
computer.
I know, but the way
Yeah.
people competitively play Madden.
People forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like no one's playing Madden like they play football. Like it's very. So I was talking to like an offensive coordinator once. I was like, "You ever play Madden? Like put in all your plays and stuff, and like try to call plays and do it?" And he was like, "Yeah, but it's such a totally different game. It's not a perfect simulator."
hmm
So I think that totally affects how players are rated and how players are used. And like, for example, why, like Lamar Jackson is easier to use than like Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Do you think that there's a market out there for like a more realistic Madden?
Like a flight simulator, football simulator.
Yeah.
Actually,
just
that'd be pretty freaking cool.
just call it Football Simulator.
That's the NFL head coach video game.
That's right. Yeah. Well, we don't know. We don't know if the gameplay is more realistic or not.
Yeah, but that's different than like it. The whole point was that it was different than like playing Madden.
When you're doing head coach simulator, can you choose to sleep on the couch in your office 4 nights a week?
I
Yell at the
bought
media.
it. I played it. It was a long time ago though. That probably came out like 05, 06.
Yeah, we need to get back into that. I want that to be re-released so that I can try it out. I want to put my hand up and say I'm sorry to all the listeners out there, all the Macrodosians. I forgot on Tuesday's show, which, by the way, go check it out, download it, subscribe, resubscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, with Large about Bernie Madoff. I forgot in all the commotion to do Teed Off. And so that's everyone's clamoring for a Teed Off segment. So Big T.
And it's good you did forget because I had one that was good, and then during the show I was like, shit, I forgot it, but now I remember again.
Okay.
The worst professor I had in college. Literally, this guy was just the absolute woe. Everyone, several people in the class like complained to the journalism department. They were like, "This is the worst class we've ever taken. This guy like doesn't know what he's doing. He's terrible." They're like, "Yeah, we know. We get these complaints every semester, but there's like really nothing we can do about it." He is running for U.S. Congress, and if this guy wins, I will. I'll have to run. If this guy can get elected, I can get elected.
That's what we need.
He's not going to. He's running as a Democrat in Knoxville. He's not going to win. But just the fact that this guy is, he's too close.
So why is he so bad?
He was a very weird person. He had no clue what he was doing as a professor. His class was the most disorganized, mismanaged thing I'd ever been in, and he was extremely unlikable, and he is has a chance to be a U.S. congressman.
What's his name?
Mark Harmon.
Mark Harmon. I'd like to officially announce that Macrodosing is endorsing Mark Harmon.
It's not.
For Congress.
It's not.
Running in Tennessee. Big T, I'm only doing this because I want to see you run.
If he wins, is there an age limit for Congress or an age minimum?
Yeah, I think it's 20.
I think you're pretty close.
32 or 28.
Well, give it a couple more elections, but if this guy wins, I'm running.
Okay.
Oh, 25 years old. Let's ride.
You're in.
Yeah. No, if he wins, I'm running. Granted, I would have to move back to Tennessee, but I will challenge him.
We would make
seat.
that work.
I don't know. Hit you with a Dr. Oz.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, you have to establish residency.
Well, yeah, I'd have to live there for a little while.
He's running in Philadelphia, but lives in Jersey and has for like fucking.
Yeah, no, I would move back and live there for the required amount of time.
I'm saying you don't have to. Just have a place there.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, if this guy wins, I have to run.
You're definitely more of a Tennessee guy than Dr. Oz is of a Philadelphia guy.
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who thought Dr. Oz would be a good candidate. He's running on like almost a platform of populism, and he lives in a fucking gigantic mansion in New Jersey.
Candidates like that have won recently.
That's true. Yeah. No, that's a valid point.
It's like what we were saying last week. It's like people see someone on the TV and they're like, "Yep, time for office."
Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Just name recognition is half the battle. And I'm sure Coley is that's where Coley's been for the last couple months. He hasn't been raising a child or two children. He's been campaigning for John Fetterman in Pennsylvania. That's Coley's guy. He is a very funny guy, and he seems like he's got a good heart. I don't know. I haven't read that much about his policies, so I could be putting my foot in my mouth. But he just seems like a good person, a guy that has just like kind of dedicated his life to helping others. But yeah, that's where Coley's at right now, helping out with that campaign.
His Facebook page, Mark Harmon for Congress, only has this says 852 followers. So it has 852 followers.
Okay, well he's going to get a lot more after this. You just elevated his name.
It's a good point. But I just need people to know how. Let me send you a screenshot of this guy.
What if his platform is to get you fired?
I mean,
wait, why don't you like him?
Did you not listen to the whole thing I said?
I was reading up on a story that kind of broke my heart, man. Sorry.
Well,
he was a terrible professor. His class was horribly mismanaged and terribly organized. He didn't know what he was doing, and he was just like vaguely unlikable.
What's it got to do with him running for Congress?
I think
how many congressmen do you think can run a good classroom?
I don't know, but not him.
This is horrible. But anyway, so the story I was reading up was on, I don't know if y'all don't know who Desus and Mero is.
Yep.
They breaking up, dog.
Yeah, it's tough. Are you...
You know why? I was reading the article, but I couldn't get to the end of it because I probably shouldn't read the entire article while I'm doing a pod. But
no, we can talk about it, though. So I know Desus pretty well. Desus has become a friend through our mutual friend Tommy Alter, the most connected man in America. I went on that vacation to Amsterdam with him and got to spend some good time with him. Have you ever met him?
Desus?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, both of them are guys. They was on my podcast. Every time I stop in New York, I holler at him.
Yeah, it's tough to see. They were so funny, man. Very, very funny as a duo.
They were like the origins of the not the origins, but they were like one of the main names to accounts to follow from Black Twitter.
Mhm.
They were like the ones ushering that shit. They were comedy, man. Legends. That's fucked up. I gotta hit them. I don't know the real reason.
Yeah, I don't have any insight as to what the real reason is. I just know that sometimes, business gets in the way of things. I think we've been pretty fortunate here. Like when we first started getting pretty big, Big Cat and I, we were compared to like the white version of Jesus and Miro, which was like the highest compliment.
It's a very big compliment.
Yeah, highest compliment that we could get. And so I would love it, even though like I don't see that many comparisons. Although like one is a big guy with kids, the other is a skinny guy that always appears to be high. So
just a funny duo.
Yeah, so a funny duo. And we,
well, actually, what you guys have in common is y'all's improv skills like are insane.
they were very good at playing off each other, and
Yeah.
they naturally fit in well together. I'm sure that they'll be fine. I'm sure that they're going to be very successful with whatever solo ventures they choose to pursue, and I'm sure that they're going to have a lot of other options.
That's like the definition of two Americas, like PFT and Big Cat and Jesus and Mero.
Yeah.
Like there's two Americans though. But yeah, no, I'm sad to see them break up, man. So if there's any crossover, send them some love because they're good dudes, man. They're good dudes, and they came from nothing and made a great lane for themselves. And I hope they continue to grow.
Yeah,
individually, man.
The thing about this business is there's so many things that go into the success that you have that you don't see behind the scenes, and there's natural human ego that gets involved. And Big Cat and I have been very fortunate that I think we're both kind of cut from the same cloth, that we don't really have gigantic egos when it comes to like business. We're not ever at odds when it comes to any of that stuff. And we're both, we see how lucky we are to be in the position that we're in. And we understand that it would be insane to let something as stupid as like ego get involved. I'm not saying that that's what happened with Jesus and Miro, but it sounds like from what I've read that they were constantly butting heads about a lot of things, especially towards the end. I mean, I read that like Miro was posting on the show's Reddit, and there was just like a lot of behind the scenes drama that went on. So it's tough to see, but 10 years in this business together as a duo was a very, very long time.
It is, man. And they had a legendary podcast. Some of their old episodes, man, like nonstop. How you rolling, bro? It's hilarious.
Yeah, there were great interviewers too. Really, really good.
I blame Reddit.
You blame Reddit in
Reddit's the
general?
root of all evil.
I blame China.
Okay.
I don't know why yet. I just want to be the first to say that the Chinese government broke them up.
Through Reddit.
Through Reddit.
Bots.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I haven't figured out why yet, but
No.
the facts aren't important. I'll fill those in later.
There's a lot of Reddit I love, a lot of great content on Reddit, but there's communities of fans that I feel just suck.
Okay.
Because it's only
I will never go on Reddit. I will never go on Reddit.
because I mean, it's
Scary.
it's
Well, Arian, you're on
why do you
Discord.
go on Reddit?
That's like Reddit on cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the 4chan.
But I don't actually read like if I see them talking stupid shit, I just you know what I mean? I ignore the shit. But like I'm not like Reddit is specifically for like any kind of fan base to like vent how they don't like the show majorly or don't like what they, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I mean like why like I imagine coming up with an idea and like hundreds of people like on a chat board are like, this is why I don't like it. Like, everybody gonna watch. Like, I'm not finna entertain that. So if you don't like it, you don't like it.
Sometimes I hear Billy say things to me that I know that he got off the Reddit, and I immediately interpret it as, okay, this is Billy speaking from like the opinion of somebody that had a popular
Wait.
thread.
Like what?
I'm not going to get into the details about it, but I can just
I don't do that.
I can just tell when you say something, and it's like
I think
that's
it's
not from Billy's brain. That's from Reddit.
I think it's important to understand where your fan base is, right? To a certain extent, but a lot of that shit can get like, ego deflating. That was like when I first noticed that was I played college ball and message boards were like a little mini Reddit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I used to like read people's opinions on me and shit, and finally just until you realize like, man, fuck these people.
You were checking out VolQuest?
Yeah. VolQuest. There's another one too. I forget.
There's the 24/7 one, but I forget what it's called.
I don't
boards?
remember. Yeah,
Go Vols
but
24/7. That's what it's called.
Every school has a different one. I don't know if they're as active as they were.
They are.
Back in. Oh, well, there you go.
VolQuest
but I
is
know,
still
like,
popping.
That was why I mean, back in the day, like that was like one of the main, sources for fans to get together and talk shit about their favorite team.
And VolQuest still looks like it did probably when you played, but it's like people are still on there.
Damn.
Big T, what is your user handle on VolQuest?
I am not a VolQuest subscriber.
Bullshit.
Actually. I'm not.
Cap.
I'm not.
Cap.
Listen, I know enough people at the University of Tennessee that I don't need to pay for the information that I already know.
Oh, you're above them.
I mean, I'm just not going to pay money for when I could just talk to those people.
But the people that are on the forums, those are the guys with the cutting edge ideas.
Sometimes.
I do not believe for a second
I'm not.
that you're a lurker.
No, I don't go on it.
When was the last time you went on it?
Honestly, I've never been. I've never typed in VolQuest.
Hold on, okay. How you know they popping stuff? You don't.
Well, people like tweet screenshots from it and shit all the time, and I know people who are on VolQuest who talk about the shit that's on there all the time.
Yeah, I think you gotta burn it. Yeah.
Did you guys?
Listen, I'm not paying to go on VolQuest.
Do you have to pay for him?
Yeah, it's like $100 a year.
Shut up. What?
Yeah.
Keep them running. Yo, so did you guys hear that? So Russia says it's losing because Ukraine has experimental mutant troops creating secret biolabs.
Like
Did you guys see
Stranger
that
Things.
article?
Let's go.
Dude, that's kind of fucking sick.
That is pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, dude.
What kind of experimental troops are we talking about?
Well, okay, so
By the way, are you ready to apologize to me yet for calling the Ghost of Kiev as being a complete forgery?
no, I said the opposite.
No, you said that it was legit right when it happened.
Right.
And I told you, given my vast understanding of air combat, that it was virtually impossible to be true. And you were like, no, man, no, it's true. It looks pretty real.
Yeah, well, you know what, man? I was just trying to gas up the Ukrainians.
Okay.
So I told you, I was like, look, yeah, these Ukrainians got super soldiers.
All right. So that's a no. You're not ready to apologize yet.
Well, I apologize, but I'm gassing up the Ukrainians.
Okay. You don't want to do that.
I'm not
You're denazifying the Ukrainians. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's a little tougher than you think.
So go on with the mutant soldiers.
So this was from Yahoo News, decent source. So the Russian troops refusing to fight by the thousands, sabotaging their own shoddy equipment, and even deliberately wounding themselves to abandon the war. Russian lawmakers claim the real setback for Moscow is drugged up Ukrainian soldiers. That claim was made Monday by 2 Russian lawmakers heading up a commission to investigate biolaboratories in Ukraine. They described bombshell findings from the investigation, testings of Ukrainian POWs' blood, they claim, and covered a range of diseases that suggest they were secretly experimented on for military purposes. And we see the cruelty and barbarity in which the military personnel of Ukraine behave, the crimes that they commit against the civilian population, these monstrous crimes that they commit against prisoners of war, confirm that this system for the control and creation of a cruel murder machine was implemented under the management of the United States. So they're basically saying they were given, and those performance-enhancing drugs that are still given in order to completely neutralize the last traces of human consciousness and turn them into most cruel and deadly monsters also confirm this. So they think they're like roiding up all their soldiers.
Yeah, Russia would never do that. Russia would
Yeah.
never have a state-sponsored doping program. I'm glad that they're. I stand with the Russian government.
Honestly,
They'll have to be the military members from Russia. They can't be the Russian military.
Yeah, exactly. We're taking away their flag. They have to. Yeah.
but they're accusing the Ukrainian soldiers of doping, and then it's like, you idiot! Like the Russian soldiers definitely dope their soldiers.
Of course.
Like if they're doping their Olympic
that was
athletes.
actually the joke.
Yeah.
Like Russia would know. They probably have the test that would uncover all the secret steroids we don't know about. I think Billy's bringing this up because Billy just wants to get on that. This would actually be the best way to draw Billy into the Ukraine-Russia conflict, is to be like, hey, yo, not only is Ukraine like just giving guns to people that go over there, they're also giving them cutting-edge steroids that nobody knows about.
If there was like, you can turn into a super soldier,
Yeah, they're making Antifa super soldiers.
that'd be pretty cool.
Antifa super.
You remember that? That was hot for like a couple weeks. Like, watch out, Antifa super soldiers are going to be out on like the 4th of July, like doing a massive demonstration. That never happened. But okay, so they're given good juice, and also the American government, like we've experimented on our soldiers as well.
Oh yeah.
Like that's pretty common knowledge. Back in, if you want to go all the way back to World War II, we saw that the Nazis had meth, and we're like, yo, we got to give our pilots some of this meth stuff. And so we started making our own to keep them awake.
Was MK Ultra used on soldiers?
MK Ultra was used on soldiers. Yeah, it was used on a variety of government employees.
Right, so that too.
Yeah, all the different drugs and LSD and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we experiment on our soldiers too. That's what makes the soldiers that are like banding together against the vaccinations kind of funny to me in a way, because like your job is literally to die for the country if they ask you to.
Yeah.
But you won't get a vaccine if they ask you to do that. I'm not saying the vaccine's perfect, because it's obviously been shown not to be a perfect vaccine. But like that's actually what you sign up for.
Well, and they've been poked and prodded with way worse things, probably.
Yeah, bullets.
Right. That's a big one, probably. Yeah, probably one of the worst.
Yeah, one of them shrapnel. That's pretty bad.
PFT, anti-troops. You heard it here. Can we get a quote card?
I'll whip that one up.
All right.
Yeah, Billy?
No, I'm on Conspiracy No Politics Reddit, and there's something related.
How much time does Billy spend a day on Reddit?
There's a lot of good things to blog on there,
Okay.
so that's why I'm there usually.
I spend a lot of time on
Yeah.
Reddit.
Do you?
Oh, I don't have, like, I'm a lurker.
What are your forums?
This macrodosing, it's so bad. I'm constantly on it.
So Mad Dog is reading what you write about her right now.
I am, honestly.
Are
It's
the
really
Mad Dog
bad.
creeps on there?
Yes.
So you like the Mad Dog creeps?
No, it creep.
Yeah, if you
they-
keep going back, to look at
it's like a little bit too much. Where like someone asked me my address on it.
Yeah, I'd say that's a little bit. That's
Like
yeah.
it goes a little bit too far.
That's what creeps do. They be creeping.
Yeah, and then there's like some like other ones. I'm actually randomly on the Part of My Take one a lot.
Okay.
Just checking in, seeing what you guys are up to.
Yeah, don't go there.
Yeah.
What would you say the love versus hate relationship is with you, Billy, on the PMT Reddit?
Oh,
PMT.
It's
It
up
probably
and
swings,
down.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's
Like depending on the episode, probably.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like there's it's oh yeah.
I
a lot of
realized that
swings.
Reddit has really short attention span. Like people on Reddit have a very short attention span, like specifically around people. Like if Billy said something really funny on a podcast episode, they will praise Billy and immediately turn their back on him. There's no
It's
loyalty.
what you do lately, what you done for me lately type thing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I would say the macrodosing audience is probably higher on Billy than the PMT audience is overall.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, 100%.
I know that the PMT audience fucking loves Big T.
PMT
The
audience
PMT
loves Big
They
T.
love him.
Yeah,
You were very popular.
yeah. You didn't know that?
I can't tell if this is a troll or not.
No. They for
They-
some reason
they love you.
Like
I think it's because you haven't actually been on the show.
yeah,
Probably.
Yeah, they love the idea of you.
That's a yeah.
Don't go on, bro. Just keep the prestige.
Yeah, I love the idea. Yeah, keep them wanting more. In fact, like suspend yourself from going on Part of My Take, and everybody be like, "Oh my God, we got to get Big T on."
I'm as commissioner of macrodosing, I'm using my power to issue a 5-year ban on myself going on Part of My Take.
That's fair. That's more than fair.
Big T needs to be dedicated to this show,
Yeah.
so he's suspended.
No, I was on Reddit before I worked here a lot, trying to find information about like people who worked here, like
who are you trying to find information about?
you guys.
What do you mean
About us?
find information?
Yeah.
Like I wanted to know, like, because none of you use your real name. I'm like that's how I found your real name. No offense to you.
Okay.
Like I found out like about
Maddie,
the insides.
you out here creeping, Maddie. What's wrong?
Yeah,
with you?
Look, I've
No,
never
but-
like denied.
Were you
that.
trying to find my home address? Because
No.
somebody did post my home right when I moved to New York.
Oh no, I
Somebody
didn't know
found
that.
my change of address form because I guess there's a way that you can access
Is it
that.
like a FOIA?
I have no idea, but somebody posted my first apartment on Reddit, and it was the correct address, and they're like, "Yo, this is where PFT lives in New York City."
Oh, that's so scary.
I'm about-
As admittedly creepy and weird as that is, there was a time not very long ago where there was a big book that got dropped off at your house that had everybody's phone number and it had addresses in it too, right?
That's true, but you could also choose to be unlisted.
Did you have to pay for that?
I don't think so. I think you just called a number and you said, "Hey, can you not list me in the phone book?"
But like people act now like that's so crazy, and it is. If you're actively seeking out where people live
Yeah.
and shit, you're at best a weirdo and at worst like a criminal. But I mean, that is like technically.
You could also be a
publicly
pizza
available
delivery
information.
guy. That's
Now-
another option.
But you give them that information.
Yeah. Do you guys remember Well, you might
Wait,
not,
what?
but I was a pizza delivery guy in high school, in college, and there was no such thing as Google Maps. There was no such thing as Apple Maps. GPS was just starting to become a thing where you could have a GPS thing in your car, but 99% of people didn't. And so you would get a call for a delivery, and they would give you the address. Then I would have to walk over to a giant map that we had on the wall in our pizza place, and I would find the location of the street.
You'd have to do
And then I'd have to write down with a pen and paper, okay, this person lives at 342 Rosewood Terrace.
Okay.
And then I'd have to get in my car after looking at the map, memorize, okay, you make a left onto 123, you make a right onto Port Republic, then you make a left onto Rosewood, and then you have to start looking for 123. And so it was impossible. It was almost impossible. I still don't know to this day how I managed to do that.
MapQuest. They should have MapQuest.
Yeah, I remember MapQuest.
So
Yeah.
MapQuest was a thing, but we didn't have a computer at the pizza
Yeah, it
place.
was like our printer.
Oh, damn,
So-
shitty pizza place.
Yeah. The guy that ran the place did not like me very much because I was always getting into accidents.
My family one time went on vacation to Montana, and we landed at the airport, and then we were going to the ski resort place, and they had directions from MapQuest, and we ended up on a frozen lake. Like we're on
Like the Office
ice,
episode.
and we call the place, and we're like, MapQuest just took us. We're like on ice right now. They're like, oh yeah. That happens every time. You need to go here, and here. And we're like, why don't y'all correct that?
Put a sign up maybe.
Yeah.
Like
They tell you
caution,
to
like-
keep going.
you will die.
Well, they just
That
like
used to
whatever
be-
the address was or whatever on MapQuest was just wrong.
I've talked about this before. I think that our dependence on GPS has totally damaged our hypothalamus, which has been our directional compass usually. But it's like a muscle, but it also does other things in our brain. And I think that we have a whole, like, if you don't use your navigational muscle, it's going to weaken other things, like knowing where you are in space and time. And there is a connection between anxiety and having like a inactivity.
Where are
in
you in space and time?
Well, that's what anxiety is, fear of the future instead of being the present.
So Billy, look at me right now.
Yeah.
What direction are you facing?
I'm facing west.
Yeah. No, Billy's hypothalamus is strong.
I test that all the time.
Do you go on cleanses?
But
Like
I-
GPS
Yeah,
cleanses?
you know,
What's-
I don't. I try to, like, for example, if I'm like going somewhere, I try to navigate. I do it a lot in the woods. That's where I exercise it. Like if I'm walking on a trail, I try to figure out where I am.
Well, you stay on
It's
the
not
trail.
hard. It's actually not hard to do. Like, just where are you in correlation to the sun, and where's the sun going?
Oh,
It's
I never looked at it by
not
the
difficult to
sun.
do.
No, like
I always do by where
But you-
water is.
yeah, and you like envision where you're going and stuff, and then and even when you're driving, like if you know your way home, like take that way home. Like I used to be so dependent on Waze just for traffic, but I was like, this is making my brain weak.
So Billy's saying.
I disagree.
So
I
is
disagree
Billy
with
saying that like the
wholeheartedly.
creation of the GPS is why people have anxiety in America?
Well, it could be they're like I'm trying to think, like the phone definitely makes neuroprocessing that you had weakened, like a muscle, if you were like use something as a crutch.
Yeah, you get too dependent on it.
I mean, think about when was the last time you were able to do shorthand multiplication, had to use it and do it.
Hit me.
and
Hit me right now.
What's 42 times 64?
That's not shorthand.
That's not shorthand. Shorthand is like 8 times 7.
56.
Yeah.
40
Yeah, I beat you. You were going to say 40? Dude, get off your phone, Billy.
I'm gonna say shorthand multiplication 42 times 56, bro.
42. That's 7 times 6.
42.
Yeah, which I get 42 and 56 mixed up because it's 8 minus 1 is 7. 8 times 7 is 56. 7 minus 1 is 6. 7 times 6. That's how I think about that.
Hang on.
I
What
think you have
what
to-
did you just
I did
say?
not follow that at all.
The numbers that, okay, we're going to get into the number relation things. It has to do with 49 and 7 times 7.
Yes.
That's right. So now take me where you got this. Say what you just said again.
8 times 7 is like 7 times 6 because they're one away from each other.
Oh, in the 7 multiplication tables,
Yeah.
it's 7 times 6, and then 7 times 7, then 7 times 8.
Yeah.
They're bracketing
Yeah.
49. I got it. I understand what Billy's saying.
Anyway,
Okay.
get off that, but we got to exercise your hypothalamus.
Seems like you need to.
I think there are people who are navigationally aware, and there just are people who aren't.
Me.
And I think that's how it's always been.
I was-
and maybe you can refine it, but like my shirt, who's sleeping in the bed right here, She is shit at direct. She doesn't. She lived in Portland her entire life and cannot get around without a GPS. I visited there maybe 10, 11 times and can go there and can just find my way by memory.
Yeah.
I'm so bad.
I think some people are just directionally aware.
Well, there was hunters and there was gatherers.
Billy,
So what's a gatherer?
a woman.
Got it. I just wanted Billy to unpack
I
that
didn't
thought
say
for a
that.
second.
All I said
right.
is
You
there
didn't
was
say it.
hunters and there was gatherers.
All right, so I think it is fair. This is going to sound bad, and I'm probably wrong, but in my experience, so you can't tell me that I'm lying. I'm speaking my truth right now. By and large, the men that I've hung out with are more situationally aware to their direction than a majority of the women that I've hung out with.
misogynistic.
No,
pig.
Yeah, that's.
I was
Yeah,
I was
that's
with a
fine.
lady last week, not to brag, and we were in a group and we were trying to get around the city that I live in New Jersey for the summer on the shore, and still like a little bit unfamiliar about where we're at. And this lady was looking at her Google Maps, and you know how it's got the dot and then the cone on it.
Yeah, to show what direction you're going.
Yeah, so she's trying to follow that along, and she's going the exact opposite way from where this is telling us to go. And I'm looking over her shoulder, and I'm like, "Why are you going this way? It's telling you to go that way." And she goes, "Oh, that cone is that's where you're going." And I was like, "Yeah, what did you think?" And she was like, "I thought it was like a tail that was left behind you, like a little graphic design flair."
What the fuck? Well, the thing is, the phones do now make all of the male advantages like obsolete.
Okay,
So-
go on.
Sound like some
Like-
incel shit, man. What?
We're being taken over by the phones.
No, it's facts. Like
Yeah.
you don't really need
No,
to know
good
the
point, Billy.
direction.
They vibrate too. Like they do. They do everything that we can do.
How is now? But like, how is that incel shit? I'm actually saying we're now more equal. 'cause
I
we all
think that
phones.
I don't think that a woman should be allowed to own a phone that shakes when somebody texts her or
That's
calls
not
her.
what I'm saying. I'm saying the phones. I'm saying that it doesn't matter anymore, even if that's true. I'm saying something equalist.
Thank you, Billy.
Equalist. It's a new ideology.
Equalism. So wait, what do you think? What do you think phones should? What features should phones not be allowed to have?
They should have all of them so that everyone can navigate and do everything the same.
Can you give me the 3 core tenets of equalism?
Just people being equal. Feminism in its true sense.
What is its non-true sense, Billy?
Dude, I don't know. Why are we talking about this?
You brought it up.
I just want to talk about exercising your hypothalamus. And like also meditation, like because we just stimulated so much, we don't have control of our own thoughts at any given time without stimulation because we're so used to stimulation dictating our thoughts. That's why when you're in a waiting room, you're on your phone. Like,
Yeah.
You know what people used to do? Sit.
No,
with their
we-
I
thoughts.
kind of hate that Billy's kind of right.
We used to.
Yeah.
We used to
They
read.
used to
Yeah.
have magazines and newspapers, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
used to
used
read
to-
like
6-month-old
People magazines.
Yeah.
Right.
No question.
Right. But
And then open the magazines and smell the perfume that they had in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
like remember Time Out?
Yeah.
Well, that's a thing when you're a child. Like
Do
children
America's.
still get time.
But
out.
like remember like nowadays it's so much easier just to like wait somewhere, like waiting for a train or waiting for because we have our phone.
I hear
we
this.
just do.
I hear this a lot though. Like, what is wrong with
Yeah,
being
what's
mentally
bad about
stimulated?
that?
I don't
I
understand.
think it makes your ability to rein in your own thoughts and control your own mind because you're always dependent on outside stimuli.
I think that there's some truth.
So
There's
Yeah,
some truth to the
well,
fact that your creative energy is being directed somewhere else. Like you are being mentally stimulated by a phone, but if you were to take that phone away, then you're unable to function, or you're less able to function at times,
Yeah.
just like person to
Louis
person.
C.K. had a bit in Separate the Art from the Artist,
Yeah.
but he had a bit about how he was one time
That's what it's-
driving.
that's what that was
He was
called.
he was really good at interacting
Was that
person to person.
Was that before or after the debacle?
It was
His
before,
special.
but the bit was basically
Oh.
like we don't
Oh.
feel nothing anymore, and like we're always on our phones, we're always doing something. And one time he was driving and he stopped his car, and his phone was there, or whatever, and he was like had to sit in his car to wait for a while. And he was in an old car that like didn't have any radio, and he just like broke down crying because he had no stimuli. That may have been other issues, but like
Yeah.
the absence of
He
stimuli.
had no one to jack off in front of.
So he just started drinking. That's probably what he did. And then once it was over, it was.
Well, no, he
Like,
needs
fuck, there's no one there.
he needs
to
somebody
watch.
to watch. Yeah.
By like most measurable data, like we are by and large at the best point in human history.
Right.
So like when I hear this argument, I just don't really like there are some things like, yes, depression levels, anxiety levels, suicide levels, stuff like that. But I think that's just a byproduct of the beginnings of us being inundated with all of this, right? I think we'll work our way out of it because I think the what's missing in all of this is us like regulating ourselves with it, right? I always tell people all the time, bro, not everybody deserves freedom, man. There has to be some kind of bounds. And like, once you realize that the internet can be an anchor or a sail, it's the most beautiful thing in the world. But like, you have to like regulate yourself if it's possible, but it takes discipline. But what I'm saying is, I think people in general don't do that, but we're a way better society than we were in whenever they be talking about in the 80s when you're sitting in a fucking
But
waiting room.
I feel like we don't use our brains as much.
I think
I
we do in
disagree.
just different ways.
Yeah, I think it's just a different way we use them.
No, but like we don't.
Because let me be clear about my career as a pizza delivery guy. That fucking sucked. Like, I'm so glad that I have GPS now to get me around. It sucked.
Way
There were
more
so
visual.
many times I was just like driving up and down a street trying to find a house only to realize, oh, I'm around the corner, or oh, there's another street that has a similar name that I'm close to. Like, that sucked. My life is infinitely better because I do have GPS.
Right, but when you were thinking about all those tasks, your mind was occupied, and now you don't consider larger scale things that might impact your psyche, like make you sad or make you like weirded out.
I think I don't know what that means.
I don't even know what it means.
Okay. All right. Good. I know what you're saying, which is sometimes having technology as a crutch can weaken parts of your brain that used to be stimulated that are no longer stimulated. I will actually agree that I think that being able to find your way around without GPS, it probably made my mind stronger in certain ways because I was problem solving, but it also sucked at the same time. And now that you have GPS, you don't really need to ever use those.
True, but I feel like
That's the bigger point, I think.
but those problem solving techniques and that exercise for your mind definitely had different uses than just getting around. And I feel like our brains aren't as in tuned and like exercised as much.
What do you think the goal of mankind should be, Billy?
The goal of mankind. I mean, that's a huge question.
Mhm.
And for me, I think it would be just to have a good time.
Okay. All right.
I don't disagree, bro. I do not. I think that we are right spot on with our answers, right? So I believe that the goal should be to enjoy this motherfucker in any capacity that you see fit that doesn't harm others, right? And so, like, we're getting closer to that. So some people enjoy exploring the universe. Some people enjoy reading about exploring the universe. Some people enjoy sitting around doing nothing all day. I think those are all equally important things for those people, and so be it. So like, I think technology is just getting us closer to be able to, what I see fit as the goal of us being here is to enjoy this shit. Wasting time figuring out how to go places, that's not being efficient with your time and doing things that's enjoyable. I think technology is bringing us closer to being able to enjoy it.
Minimize suffering, maximize good stuff,
times.
good times.
Yeah, but the
Happiness.
thing is like, what makes the good times is the suck.
You sound like a football coach.
Yeah, it's
I
like
know, but there's not
like the bad times make you appreciate the good times.
there's no such thing as a good time if there's not a bad time.
Right. Oh, Billy has a point.
I think good time endorphins. If you just have endorphins, it's
I
either
know.
you have endorphins or you don't have endorphins.
Maximize dopamine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like because the thing is, what happens in your brain is if you get neuroexcitatory, like if you're happy, I'm butchering the psychology. Basically, if you're happy too much, like, or for example, if you take a ton of Adderall, it like those euphoria neurons,
depletes
whatever.
it.
It doesn't deplete it; it overexcites them and destroys them.
Oh.
So then those,
I get what you,
yeah,
I get what you're saying, but I think your default would slide over towards happy more is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So like my bad times growing up are nowhere near my bad times now. You know what I mean? My bad times growing up were there's no food, so I can't eat. My bad times now are like shit breaks, people get sick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my window is shifting as what bad is because of where I'm at in my life.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Like you're right, but I think it's relative. Happiness is relative, and so is sadness.
So what Billy's saying is like, what about back in the day? You used to come home from school, maybe you'd have pizza rolls. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That was like day made. Now I can make pizza rolls for myself whenever I want.
And you can have like,
And I don't love pizza rolls that much anymore, and that's sad.
You don't know my goals when I was a kid. I was like, yo, when I'm an adult, I'm just gonna eat a whole tub of Cool Whip. I can't wait till I'm an adult because nobody
Fuck
lets me
yeah.
do it.
That sounds awesome.
Also, I want to
That's
eat
a-
ice cream for
shit
breakfast
right now.
Have you done it?
No, because when I got to the point where I could afford my own tub of Cool Whip, I don't like sweets like that, so it's not really that good.
Wow. I mean, when you said that hit home for me because I think like I loved Cool Whip when I was a kid, and I used to always try to get extra Cool Whip on my pumpkin pie. And my dad would be like, "No, you get one scoop. Everybody gets one scoop."
2 Americas,
What do you mean?
sweet potato.
Well, yeah, I mean also my grandmother made the best sweet potato pie in the world. I'm just thinking about like Thanksgiving.
2 Americas.
Whatever. Don't act like I don't enjoy sweet potato pie. That's offensive to me.
Nah.
Every
no, you
time I
should.
would visit my grandparents in Greensboro, North Carolina, Mimi would have 2 sweet potato pies that were made because she knew that her special boy was coming to visit, and then he liked his special sweet potato pie.
Good town, Greensboro, North
Shout out to
Carolina.
Mimi. Shout out to Mimi, man.
Shout out Mimi. Greensboro, North Carolina, very good town.
Good town. ACC tournament should still be there.
I agree with that, 100%.
I've never had sweet potato pie.
2 Americas.
2 Americas.
North Carolina, very good state. I need to rank states on here at some point.
North Carolina, yes.
Great state.
Big-
Okay with that.
Rank
Let's rank
all
same.
50.
Big T is absolutely correct. North Carolina is maybe the most slept upon state. in the
I
United
would
States.
agree with
I've only been there once. We played Carolina Panthers is in North Carolina, right?
Yeah, they're in
Yeah.
Charlotte, which is like,
Yeah,
that's, I guess, an okay town.
Yeah, only place I've been. I went to go eat some restaurant and then went back to the hotel, so I never really been.
Hendon Hooker from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yep.
Stamey's Barbecue.
It's got mountains, beaches,
Great beaches.
The ocean.
just like a general good vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like great state.
Carolina blue, one of the best colors.
Elite color.
One of the best colors. Yeah,
Strong
yeah.
color. My rugby team that I played for in Austin was the Austin Huns, and our colors were like Carolina blue, white, sometimes black, and that was as much of a decision as why I chose to play for that team as any other one, because it's like, oh, I get to wear Carolina blue all the time.
Look good, feel good, play good.
Mm-hmm.
Worst state, I think number 15. We talked about this. Probably got to be Delaware.
I would disagree with that. Delaware, we need to figure out again what the fuck is going on.
Least relevant, not necessarily worst.
It's got some but it's relevant. That's what we're saying.
That's true.
It's got an outsized
Rhode
relevance
Island.
compared
It's
to the
actually
rest of it.
It's extremely relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our economy is based
Yeah.
on evading taxes, and that's the state to do it in.
Yeah. And it's got a couple good beaches too. So that it can't be even in the bottom 10 if it has good beaches.
I don't know.
I've never been. I wouldn't know.
Because everything
Yeah.
is something to offer.
Worst state. Let's discuss. Let's go around.
And Delaware was the first state too.
It was.
There are two that immediately come to my mind.
I think I know the two
Worst
that you're
state?
talking about.
Do you?
Especially since you said 2.
Okay, what are
You're
they?
talking about the Dakotas?
No.
Don't-
Those would fall under irrelevant, not necessarily worst.
Okay.
Then the Black Hills.
Arkansas and West Virginia are the two. Mississippi was third, but
Mississippi's my one.
it's
Yeah.
close enough to other okay states that not the whole thing is worthless, but Arkansas is terrible, bad people too. And then
I wasn't going to impugn the people of any of these
Yeah.
states.
no, Fayetteville, Arkansas.
There are many fine people.
I'm very thankful I haven't been there. And then West Virginia, but I would go Arkansas.
I like West Virginia. Maybe it's because I grew up close to it and
West
I spent some
Virginia's
time there.
Pretty.
It's very beautiful.
a
It's
lot
a great
of
state.
songs are great that talk about West Virginia.
Country road.
Mm-hmm. Name
Other-
2.
I
Name-
was gonna say other than Country Roads, which is not about West Virginia, also, but
Good point.
Country Roads and Charleston Girl by Tyler Childers.
Okay. I can't fact check that.
Is that
No,
about
not
Charleston, West Virginia, or Charleston, South Carolina?
Charleston, West Virginia.
Are you talking about Charlestown, West Virginia? Charlestown Races and Slots. Good casino there.
No, there's a Charleston, West Virginia.
That's right, there is. West Virginia, not bad, but Big T's right. Country Roads is written about Western Virginia. That's what he means when he says West Virginia. That's where the Shenandoah River is. Spend a lot of time tubing down that river, hanging out by it. I would say, I'm still going to say the Dakotas as one. Those are my worst two states. And fun fact, when whoever it was that signed them into statehood, signed the documents, the president signed them both at the same time and then picked the two papers up and shuffled them together so that nobody would ever be able to claim, like South Dakotans wouldn't be like, we were actually a state before you were, North Dakota. They were put in at the exact same time. I'd say the Dakotas in dead last place.
Mississippi has, I think, a run for its money.
Mississippi is, from what I've heard, not a great state. I haven't visited.
It also doesn't have a major city.
I know that the only person that I know from Mississippi is Ben Mintz. That's the only guy.
Where's Brandon?
It was funny because I said it as a joke, and then Mad Dog was like, "Yeah, it's Ben Mintz."
and then because I knew he was gonna say, wait a second.
Yeah. So Mississippi is probably second worst in my book.
So like, are we? But that means it's third worst because you can't count the Dakotas
true.
as one.
Honestly, everybody's got something to offer. I don't think anyone's really the worst state.
Low key,
Stop.
and I mean this low key. Indiana's not great.
No,
Indiana's not a good state.
Great.
I love Indiana.
South Bend, Indiana, like the Notre Dame campus is beautiful. The rest of that town
Scary.
is terrible.
Mayor Pete.
One of the worst places I've ever been. Yeah, that's probably why.
Thanks,
Well, and
Pete.
Amy Coney Barrett's from there.
I know Notre Dame. I don't know how it is now, but the Notre Dame visitor locker room was the worst I've ever been in.
Interesting.
What was bad
Dog
about it?
shit. So small, bro. I'm talking about everybody. We changing next to each other, shoulder to shoulder, literally. It was shit.
I love Notre Dame.
I'd say Indianapolis is a fine town. I
I've
like
never
Indy.
been.
Indy's cool. It's a perfect place to go
I'm
visit.
Tripping. I forgot. I've been there a bunch of times.
It's
always
great.
cold as shit every time I went though, so I don't really.
But everything's
know.
indoors there, and everything's connected in the downtown area, so you can just walk around without ever going
At the
outside.
draft, the combine down there, huh?
Yeah, combine's there.
Yeah.
So I go there just about every year. Always have a great time in Indy. No complaints
St.
about
Elmo's.
Indy. But that's the one place in Indiana that I would ever want to be.
Oh, there was a Super Bowl there one time, 2010. That shit was lit, actually.
Was that the Giants
Yeah.
Patriots second one?
I don't know, bro.
I think it was.
I don't think so.
No.
Wait.
Arian, it looks like Notre Dame redid the visitors' locker room in 2017. It actually looks very nice.
Okay, cool. Well, it wasn't when I went. That shit was shit.
Connecticut, I'm going to say Connecticut's up there for worst state. Sneaky worst state.
Because they don't have anything of
Never
their
been
own.
there.
It's a lot of rich people along the coast, and there are no beaches to speak of. That's the crazy thing. Maybe I'm talking about ass on this one, but no one ever talks to me about Connecticut beaches. It's got a lot of coastline, but
Yeah, Mystic, Connecticut.
is that a beach town?
Yeah, all the beaches in Connecticut are farther east. All the, there are a couple in Greenwich and Stamford, but the mid of Connecticut, like the middle coastline of Connecticut's pretty more industrial.
The
Yeah.
thing
and
about
shipping.
those beaches, though, that Billy's talking about, like in Greenwich and Stanford, is they're all like private or like the size of your left thumb. Like they're
Yeah.
very, very
You
small.
have to have
or
like
private.
a town sticker to go to those
Yeah.
beaches.
Yeah.
And then that means you have to pay like Greenwich taxes, which is like
is insane.
It's pretty colonial. If you get off the coastline in Connecticut, all the houses look like they're from 1910, 1920,
I
like
love
very,
Greenwich, Connecticut.
very old school. I put them pretty high up on the list of worst states.
don't talk shit about Rhode Island. Rhode Island's pretty awesome.
Well, it's got some beaches.
Rhode Island's so awesome.
I love Charleston, South Carolina, but as far as the rest of the state goes, I've never had a good time in South Carolina besides that.
Really?
Yeah.
Where
I've
else have
never
you?
been.
I mean, I don't know how many times I've really been to South Carolina. I've been to Charleston.
I've
about
driven
Hilton
through it several times. Hilton Head, I have been there.
I love home.
Kiowa, South Carolina, great place.
Is it?
Actually, I like South Carolina.
So maybe I'm jumping the gun on South Carolina a little bit. Other states, Wyoming. Wyoming's definitely up there.
Wyoming, well,
If you're like into nature
the
and shit,
natural
Wyoming.
beauty.
Montana is Wyoming on steroids.
True.
Montana kicks the shit out of Wyoming.
Yeah, but also Montana's getting way more developed nowadays.
Yeah.
You know what they call Bozeman now?
Oh, here comes a slightly racist joke.
No, it's not. They call it Bos Angeles.
Okay.
Who is calling it that?
The Montanians are seeing a lot of Californians buy spots in Bozeman, and they're like all these like vegan places popping up, and they're calling it Bos Angeles.
Okay. I thought for sure you were going to talk about Chinese billionaires buying land there. Oh, speaking of that, Oklahoma. That's probably up there on the list, right?
Yeah.
When we were driving through Oklahoma, Billy was profiling every single person that we saw. Be like, that person.
No,
But that person is
There
here.
was people with land surveillance equipment.
Yeah.
in a
That's pretty common in an oil-rich environment.
I don't know.
Missouri, bad state.
I've heard not good things about St. Louis.
I disagree. It's a boring state. I don't think it's a bad state. Good people there. Some like St. Louis is a fine city. I've never been to Kansas City. It seems fine. Also, it's fine. Missouri's fine.
I do like Kansas City's fun. I've had a good time in Kansas City. How do we feel about Kansas, Nebraska, that whole region?
The only thing that I think Nebraska brings to the table is Omaha.
I had a great time in Omaha, Nebraska.
Right, for the World Series.
I mean, they're very essential.
North Platte, where
Well,
Danny
and-
Woodhead's from.
And freaking Warren Buffett.
Yeah. Yeah, that puts it
That's
up.
my favorite college team growing up.
Nebraska?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to play for them?
I did.
Would you have taken steroids?
No, I didn't take nothing. No creatine, nothing.
Did anybody ever approach you while either in college or in the pros and was like, hey, this will make you faster, it'll make you stronger, it'll help you recover from an injury?
All the time.
And you never thought about saying yes?
Mm-mm. I took a couple things Kush gave me like towards the end of my career, but I didn't feel anything any different. Like, so I stopped taking. I only did it for like a week, but
Who's
I always felt.
Cushing?
Did you just fanboy out, dog? What the
No,
fuck was
you
that?
just said like Brian Cushing.
Yeah, that was the guy that I mentioned.
Oh,
Well, he's a steroid
What-
king.
that was-
well, no, I'm just anything you
I'm-
give to
I'm-
him.
Look, that's my dude. That's my
Yeah.
dude. But I mean, he was. I always make fun of it. I always used to be like, "Yo, you taking something, bro?" I was like, "We work out the same amount, bro. You're not pushing like that." But yeah, he got away with it.
What about Idaho? Where do we stand on Idaho?
Potatoes.
I don't know.
Potatoes, fair.
Yeah, no, I'd put Idaho down there.
And
So
they
the
have
worst.
good. Don't they have like mountains and stuff?
Billy's
They have
afraid.
Idaho,
I know that grin that Billy just gave. He's afraid of their militias.
No, Idaho has pretty awesome. They're kind of low key Montana.
Yeah.
With potatoes.
No, because like a lot of Idaho is like is right next to the best parts of Montana.
Mm-hmm.
So they're
So Montana got good potatoes too.
You never hear about the Montana potatoes.
well, no,
Oregon does.
Northern
Yeah.
Idaho.
Mhm.
Northern Idaho is not Southern Idaho, and I think Southern Idaho is the potatoes. Northern Idaho is the low key Montana.
I always just
Okay.
remember from like going to Five Guys growing up, and they would tell you where the potatoes that day were from, and it was like Idaho and Oregon.
Fun or Ida, you know
Mhm.
that's Oregon, Idaho.
Yep. People don't know that.
It's a fun
All
fact.
the West Coast states are cracking.
What about Utah?
That's not West Coast.
That's Western.
Very
That's
pretty,
not West
very
Coast.
beautiful state.
Nobody from Utah or around Utah say that's West Coast, man.
No, I'm
Fucking
not saying it's
East Coast
necessarily
people.
West Coast. I asked about it because I kind of agree with Mad Dog. I think Utah is a great state. I think it's
Yeah,
got.
if you take the Mormon religion out of it, it would be fucking lit.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
there.
because it's one of the most gorgeous states there is. But they're just the weird shit that goes on.
I would say probably top 3 in how pretty that state
natural.
is.
Okay, well, how about this? Let's just
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
let's give our top 5 most
Gorgeous
beautiful
states.
states. Number 1,
Ohio.
Ohio is maybe
Maybe
last.
dead last.
Yeah,
Idaho is strip malls, fast food, and highways.
Ohio. Yeah, it's
You have a lake.
Ohio might be actually last. I'm thinking it.
No,
Things are right now. Southern Ohio has like some mountains to it.
Yeah.
West Virginia is way prettier than Ohio.
I didn't compare it to West Virginia.
The lakes, the
We
lake.
compared it to every other state.
New Jersey might be more beautiful than Ohio.
Yes, for sure. It's got a full coastline.
I would say my number one would probably be. It might be Utah.
It might be Utah.
Utah. So what about?
Utah or Colorado?
Yeah,
Might be my top two, and then Florida. Florida's beautiful. Florida's
I think the not pretty parts of Florida outweigh the pretty parts of Florida.
I would go.
What part is not pretty about Florida?
Like not coast of it, and like Orlando.
The swamplands. That's like it's gorgeous land. I don't want to go there, but it's like gorgeous to look at.
I think that Hawaii and Alaska have to be up there too.
Oh, I forgot about that shit. I thought we were talking about mainland. Yeah, Hawaii's. It's not even close. That's
Hawaii's number one.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, let's throw Alaska and Hawaii out there because they're in a league of their own.
Yeah,
Contiguous.
They're already goated.
Mainland.
I gotta go. Colorado 1, Utah 2, Florida 3.
Tennessee's up there.
Smoky Mountains, not bad.
You know what? I'm swapping Tennessee and Florida, putting Florida 4, Tennessee.
Yeah, East Tennessee's doing the heavy lifting, but it's enough.
I would put North Carolina above Tennessee because it's got the parts of East Tennessee that you like.
Right, I
and
think those are close. Yeah,
It's got the natural
And
beauty
then
of the Outer
beach
Banks.
also,
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go
Okay with that.
Colorado number one. I think Arian's right on the money with that one. Colorado should be number one. My number two is going to be. You know what? Fuck it. North Carolina 2. How about that?
What?
North Carolina number 2.
I don't hate that.
Utah
I don't hate that.
number 3. And I'm going to go California number 4.
Wait. What about Montana?
Nah.
Montana number 5.
Wait, so now you've
Montana-
kicked Tennessee out.
Been there.
Yep. Tennessee drop.
Nah.
I mean, that you should be used to it as the season goes on. That's
Oh, that's cute.
kind of your thing.
No, that's cute.
You just took a bad L to Montana State.
Listen,
Hey,
Georgia
my
State,
senior
maybe.
year,
We're not losing any
we
Montana
lost to
schools.
Montana, so that's not true. We lost to
That
Montana
is-
my senior year.
Shit, yeah.
There you go. So,
That
all right,
was.
I was not playing. I
Wait,
was
wait,
not playing, by the way.
wait. No, it was Wyoming.
Oh, I mean, no key Montana. That's what Billy said.
Yeah, no. It was Wyoming, which is an FBS school. Montana's an FCS school. It is different. But that
Yeah, I'm
was.
gonna call Cap on to California though, bruh.
what do you mean? It's got incredible
Listen,
beaches
man.
there. It's got mountains.
it's-
It's got gorgeous deserts.
It is a desert. Deserts aren't beautiful.
I mean, parts of South.
It's dirt.
It's not all desert. You want to talk about some of the most beautiful natural
majority-
parks? Arian, please let me finish with this because you haven't considered, my friend, Yosemite National Park. You haven't seen the alpine peaks of Mount Shasta. You haven't been in the redwood forest. You haven't been out
You're
to
right.
Palm
I've
Springs.
never-
Mojave Desert is
Never.
gorgeous.
Oh, I was there
You're,
recently.
you're right. You're right. I was speaking mostly of the main cities, and they're not beautiful at all. to
I
me.
agree. I agree that Los Angeles is not a beautiful place.
I mean, this is a desert that is like covered up with imported palm trees. It's just fun fact: all palm trees in America are imported.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they don't grow here.
That is a fun fact. Low key, Texas, disgusting state, with the exception of like Big Bend National Park when you go out west.
See, I disagree. I think Texas is a really beautiful state, man.
What parts?
Like inland. I'm not in love with the coast, third coast. I think it's okay, but it's very green. Texas is very green. There are parts that are definitely desert, but Houston's beautiful.
No,
Houston's not beautiful.
no, it's not.
It's really good, super green. What do you mean?
If you like concrete, Houston is the city for you, my friend.
Says the guy who works in New York.
Well, I'm not saying that I love it.
I think it's beautiful here.
All right, well, agree to disagree on that one.
Technically,
The weather's fucking shit.
Technically, the palm trees in Hawaii are native.
There you go again, Billy. Good point.
And I think the ones in Florida, the mangroves.
They're not.
So you're saying
It's imported.
no,
The ones in Hawaii are, yes, that's
Right,
1,000%
but-
true. But I was talking about the mainland.
but think about this: the whole reason why palm trees and coconuts spread was because the coconuts would float in the water and then wash up and plant. and that made their like seed spreading through currents. So any coastal palm trees. So if there's palm trees in the Caribbean, those ones washing up on the Gulf Coast, technically, I think would be considered native.
I don't know. It's just impossible.
The ones
to
in
fact check that.
California, yeah, and Nevada.
Okay.
You know what I heard about Las Vegas recently? It turns out Las Vegas has used the same amount of water for the past 20 years. And I was like, wow. Like, good for Las Vegas.
They're on a ration?
Yeah, they've used the same amount of water since like the 70s. They've just gotten way more efficient with it.
That is crazy.
I mean,
Especially considering that they just got that NFL stadium out there. They have to water.
yeah.
Which maybe that's just my brain being dumb. Maybe like one strip of grass doesn't really take that much water, but it looks very green.
Mm.
For the last 20 years, how is that even possible given the growth that Las Vegas has had?
That's what's crazy. They've used. Let me find the exact.
Vegas is ugly too. As soon as you fly over it, it's just like a desert with this random ass green strip in the middle of it.
Yeah, it should not exist. Two places in the United States that have no business occurring or existing, given the laws of nature. Las Vegas, Nevada is number 1. Number 2, Malibu, California.
I'm okay with that.
Malibu should not be inhabited. It gets all these mudslides. It's terrible to live there. And the people that live there, it's like a pretty dangerous place to build a home or any sort of structure. But it's got a great coastline.
Desert.
Yeah,
Hella desert.
it's near desert, and the coastline is nice, and so rich people get a lot of spaces out there because it feels like they have their own private beaches. But it should not be inhabited. It has no business. San Diego, beautiful city.
Absolutely.
So that's another one in California. So California, I'm confident having California number 4. So to reiterate, my official 5, Colorado number 1, my number 2 is North Carolina, my number 3. Wait, what was my number 3?
Well,
Utah?
Montana.
Utah?
I think it might have been Utah,
Utah.
and then Montana, and then Tennessee. No, and then California.
California. Tennessee slid again.
Yeah, sorry.
Real
bullshit.
quick on that Las Vegas water fact. Some even hail the area for its water smarts, with the Las Vegas community using 27 billion gallons less water in 2018 than it did just after the millennium. So they were using less water in 2018 than they were in 2000.
Maybe they're just showering less. Maybe they're getting stinky.
Who is?
Las Vegas. So they're using like their water usage in 2000 was more than its usage in 2018, even though there's been growth. So good for them.
Good for them. Shout out Nevada. Okay, so let's wrap this episode up. Any other thoughts off the top of our head we want to get into?
We just had new merch drop in the store, like as we were recording.
Check it out. What
Aliens
merch is
are
that?
real merch.
I love it. Check
So
out
go
the
get
new
that in the
stuff.
store. Also, PFT and I saw each other on the subway yesterday and talked to each other.
That's true. So we were on the same subway car on opposite sides. I was getting off the subway car. I noticed Mad Dog. She was getting off. And as you recall from a couple episodes ago, Mad Dog was afraid to talk to me getting off the subway when she saw me, while I was simultaneously being afraid of Big T, and I wouldn't talk to him. But I saw Mad Dog and I was like, I'm going to initiate the conversation and say hi, and it's not going to be weird.
No, it wasn't weird.
And it wasn't weird.
It was a nice little combo.
You know what? That's one of those things Billy's talking about. We're so used to interacting with people on our phones that sometimes the lost art of face-to-face communication.
I never got that. If I saw any of you guys, I'd say what's up to you. I will talk to anybody I know ever. I really don't get the point of social awkwardness.
Well, good for you, Billy. That's probably
that's
because
awesome.
your hypothalamus is so much stronger than
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah.
We had a nice conversation.
Well, it's not even that it's awkward. It's that, like, if I saw you on the subway and we do this show for, if it was on a Monday, we do this shit, we're in here for 4 hours. We talk about everything we could possibly talk about. And I see you on the subway and I'm like, hey, what's up? And then, like, what do we talk about?
No, I mean, I'd just be like, yo, it's good. And then,
Fucking
like, we
grouch,
might not
man.
necessarily talk.
Right. But see, then if you say, what's up, just like acknowledge the other person, and then you like go back to your phone, like now it's awkward because it's like, is he looking over? Like,
No,
Nah.
we had a nice conversation. We talked about his travel plans. It was nice.
Sometimes I'll see people. Actually, this might be overboard. Sometimes will see people on like headphones, like Liam or like Ben DeJulio, who's coming over from where we all live on the train, and I'll like see them in the crowd, and then I'll like move
Make your way
towards
towards
them,
them.
and I know they won't notice me, and then I'll just like sometimes like scare them.
Yeah.
I think
If you ever scare me on the subway, Billy, I have like
I wouldn't do that to you, Maddie.
Yeah.
But like,
I come up behind them and I put my hand on their throat.
no,
I say, don't fucking move. Headphone boy.
no, but that's like a funny joke.
You wouldn't last a minute in the forest on one of my hikes.
No.
Oh man, yo, when we dropping the what's the beef? What's your beef segment? When we doing that? We still doing that? We ain't doing that.
Yeah, we can do
with
that.
the Discord.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we just
Hop,
need to get.
hop in, and all you little redditors that like to talk shit, hop in.
Oh
Yeah,
get your-
Jesus.
fuck
Gonna get
yeah.
you gonna get your 5 to 10 minutes and be like, yo, what's your beef? And you can sound off and you could debate and we can have it out. Like I feel like that's a great little segment. It'd be fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I'd love to get just angry and just rage the dude, just like Xbox lobby style. Someone.
Oh, that just like made me like scared and sweaty thinking about that.
That's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, we need to get once Avery comes back. Avery's gone again. Once we get Avery back, he knows how to do like the technology part behind that. Or Billy, do you?
I could hook it up.
Yeah,
Where's Avery at right now?
he is in I think Buffalo.
Oh, he already left for that?
Yeah, he's gone.
Okay. He's gonna have a great time up there.
I heard he's going to the Live Tour too
Yeah, I heard that
in Dubai.
as well.
I heard they're paying him big money.
Him and Dude Perfect.
Yeah.
Congrats to Dude Perfect on getting that bag from Qatar.
Oh, we meant to get into that.
Yeah, well, that'll be a tease. We'll talk more extensively about that next week. I need to do a whole episode of prep on Qatar. Although, if I do go to the World Cup, I don't know if it's a safe thing for me to just
Chit-chat
empty the
about it.
clip on Qatar
At least not before you go.
before I go.
When is it?
It's in November.
November and December.
Because, listen, once... I'm going to let the chopper sing on Qatar. Just calling him out right now. You know what I'm talking about, Arian. The look on his face was so painful.
to America.
All right, listen, I'm going for the Diaz and Miro audience right now. There's a lot of people that have listened to their show for 10 years that are looking for another way to be entertained. So that's me, man. I'm Urban.
I'm Mr. Urban.
Mr. Urban. I'm Urban Meyer.
How do you do, fellow blacks?
All right, we will see you guys on Tuesday, isn't it? Next week. And until then, if you want to get in on what's the beef, let us know on Discord. Is that the best way?
Yep.
Let us know on Discord. All right, love you guys.
We'll have a section on there for you to
We'll have a
chime
where's
in.
the beef section.
Cool. Love you guys. See you next week.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.